Hey guys, so I have a knitting tutorial for you today. We're going to learn how to make these oatmeal gloves. They look like this, and I made this pattern for variegated yarn, so yarn that's a bunch of different colors. So what you're going to need is 200 yards of worsted weight yarn, a size 4.5 millimeter knitting needle. You can also download the PDF pattern. There is a link in the description box. Alright guys, we're going to start off by casting on 28 stitches. So you need to use a stretchy cast on, like the long tail or the crochet cast on. I use the crochet cast on, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Start off with 2 stitches on your needle, then you're going to go between the stitch, yarn over on your hook with the working yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull that yarn over through. And you keep doing this over and over again with the last 2 stitches. So insert your needle, yarn over, pull that over. And you're just going to keep doing that with the 2 stitches that are closest to the end of the hook. And I'm going to put 12 stitches on one needle, 8 on the second, and 8 on my third needle. Alright, now that I have all of my stitches cast on, I'm going to cast on 1 extra stitch, so I'm going to have 29 stitches, and I'm going to use this stitch to join into the round. So this is the end of my yarn right here on this needle, and my working yarn is on this needle. I'm going to slip that very first stitch that I made, and then slip that extra stitch that I made right over it and off the needle. And then I can pull on this to cinch it. Now I should have 28 stitches again, and I should be able to start my work in the round. Now for row number 1, we're going to knit 2, purl 2 all the way around. So you want to repeat row 1, then knit 2, purl 2 until your work, the cuff, measures 3 inches. Alright guys, after we've knit 2, purl 2 for 3 inches, we're going to do an increase round. So this is going to be knit 3, knit 1 front, back, all the way around. So I'll show you how to knit front, back in case you don't know. So knit 3, and then you're going to knit 1 to the front, and then the back of that stitch. And then just keep repeating that. Let me try to show you that up close. So this is the knit front back. You just go into the stitch like normal. You're going to knit 1, but don't drop this from your needle yet. Then go through the back loop and knit another. So it's going to make 2 stitches out of 1 stitch. And just keep repeating that. Knit 3, knit 1 front back all the way around. So the main glove pattern is 3 rounds. So knit 1, purl 1 all the way around until you get to the very last stitch of the round, and you're going to knit the very last stitch. Round 2 of the main pattern is to purl 1, knit 1 until the very last stitch, which you're going to purl. Alright, and then round 3 of the main glove pattern is simply to knit all the stitches. So you're going to repeat rounds 1, 2, and 3 3 more times, and by that point your work should measure 4.25 inches from the end to the needles. Alright, and now we're going to start on the thumb gusset. The thumb gusset is some increase rounds in one area to make the thumb stick out, because as you can see your thumb sticks out from the rest of your hand. For round number 1, we're going to start off with a knit front back. So knit 1, and we're going to place a marker right here, and then knit 1 through the back. The marker is going to show where our thumb gusset starts. And then we're going to purl 1. And now we're going to knit 1, purl 1 all the way around until that very last stitch. Now that we're at this very last stitch, we're going to once again knit 1 front back, so knit 1. Place that marker, and then knit 1 through the back loop. Now we're going to grow our thumb gusset in between these markers. So right now we should have a marker, one stitch, and then one stitch and a marker. Alright, now we're going to knit one, slip that marker, and then we're going to purl one, knit one, until the last stitch before the marker. And this is the last stitch right before the marker. We're going to purl it, slip the marker, and then knit one. Now for round 3, you're going to start off with a knit one front back. So now you're going to have 2 stitches before this first marker. And then you're going to knit all the stitches until you reach the second marker. And then when you reach the second marker, you're going to slip it and then knit one front back again. So now you should have 2 stitches after each marker. For round number 4, you're going to knit 2, slip your marker, and then knit 1, purl 1, all the way around until 1 stitch before the marker. And then 1 stitch before the marker, you're going to knit 1, slip the marker, and then knit 2. For round number 5, you're going to knit 1, knit 1 front back, slip your marker, and then purl 1, knit 1, until 1 stitch before your second marker. 1 stitch before the marker, you're going to purl 1, and you're going to slip the marker, knit 1 front back, and knit 1. For round number 6, you're simply going to knit all the stitches, so every stitch before and after the marker. Simply knit. For round number 7, you're going to knit 2, knit 1 front back, slip your marker, and then knit 1, purl 1, all the way around until you get to the last stitch before your second marker. At the last stitch before the marker, knit 1, slip the marker, knit 1 front back, and then knit 2. For round 8, you're going to knit 4, and then purl 1, knit 1, until 1 stitch before your second marker. 1 stitch before your second marker, you're going to purl 1, slip your marker, and then knit 4. For round number 9, knit 3, knit 1 front back, slip your marker, and knit all the stitches until your second marker. At the second marker, you're going to slip that marker, knit 1 front back, and then knit 3. For round number 10, you're going to knit 5, slip the marker, and then knit 1, purl 1, all the way around until 1 stitch before your second marker. 1 stitch before the marker, you're going to knit 1, slip the marker, and knit 5. Alright, now we're going to pull the thumb stitches off. So this is round 11. Go ahead and knit 5. You can go ahead and take your marker off, you won't need it anymore. You're going to slip these 5 stitches on here. And you're also going to slip the last 5 stitches on. And then simply tie a knot to make sure the stitches don't slip off. You can take that other stitch marker off as well. Now we're going to continue around. So you're going to purl 1, knit 1, all the way around until the last stitch. In the very last stitch, you're going to purl 1. So the next stitch you're going to work is on this needle right here. And you want to pull it really tight because see, there used to be this big gap right here, and we should have 35 stitches on our needles again. So now we're going to work the main glove pattern again. So for round number 1, we're going to knit all the stitches. For round number 2, we're going to knit 1, purl 1, all the way around until we get to the very last stitch, which we will knit. And for round number 3, we're going to purl 1, knit 1 all the way around until that very last stitch, which we are going to purl. Alright guys, you're going to work rounds 1 through 3 that I just said until the glove reaches the top of your pinky finger right here where it separates from your hand, after you have done those repeats and it reaches the top of your pinky. And now we're going to do knit 3 and then knit 2 together. So repeat this all the way around until you get back to the beginning. Now you should have the 28 stitches again, and we're simply going to, for round 2, knit 2, purl 2 all the way around. And we're going to repeat this round 2 until the top of the glove is as long as we want. Alright, after you've done the top, we're just going to bind off, and I just use a regular bind off. So knit 1, knit the next stitch, slip, and then just keep knitting and slipping it over all the way around. You're going to remove this scrap yarn, and then you're going to place 5 stitches on one 4.5 millimeter knitting needle, and then 5 stitches on the second 4.5 millimeter knitting needle. And then with a third needle, you're going to pick up 4 stitches in the back right here. And then just using your yarn, you're just going to start knitting rounds until the thumb is as long as you want it to be, and then bind off. Just use the regular bind off that I showed you for the top of the glove. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial and enjoy your new gloves, and have a great day. Bye.